Good morning. How's it going? Welcome. It is Friday morning. It is smoky outside. You know, they say, what's that song? Smoke gets in your eyes. Well, it's going to get in my eyes because I don't have a choice. Anyway, I hope that you are doing great today. We are going to take half an hour to work on pull-up stuff. So what am I going to be doing today? Today I'm going to start with I'm going to do a warm-up. But I'm going to do a strength workout to work some of the muscles that are going to be involved when you do your pull-up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some band work. That band will be mounted on a high place. So if you have a band that you can mount like in a door frame or something like that, we're going to do a couple of exercises with that. And then we're just going to go to the pull-up bar. Now today, we're not going to necessarily be doing pull-ups. This workout is going to be geared towards people who are working towards their first pull-up. Now, all of these things are beneficial in general if you can already do pull-ups. I mean, I'm going to get some workout out of them. But what we're going to talk about today is just, sort of the first steps, like good hanging form and talking about initiating the pull-up and how we do it with good form. So if you have a mini band or a large band, you'll definitely want a large band. If you have handled bands, you can use that for some of the part of the banded workout. This will be really beneficial because if you can and you have bands like this, we're going to do an assisted pull-up if we have time. And just being able to do the motion of the pull-up with good form and letting the assistants help you go through that full range of motion. All right, so we are going to get started. We're going to do some YTWAs. So we're going to do Y, palms up, T, palms down, W, squeeze the shoulder blades, A, reach back. And we're just going to do a handful of those to sort of warm up the shoulders. Ooh, oh my gosh, did you hear? Wow, that was a lot of snap, crackle, and pop. And I've already done some pull-ups today, so apparently I was stiff in places I didn't realize. We're going to do one more of these. Reaching back. And then we're just going to slowly hug ourselves. Now I don't want you just flopping your arms around. You're using momentum, but you're also controlling it to make sure that you're not flailing your limbs. Who doesn't want to flail their limbs around? Well, if you ever see me in roller derby, I was a flailer. You hit me, it'd go like that. It was pretty bad. Then I'd get like a penalty because I smacked someone upside the head. It wasn't my fault, but yeah, I was a flailer. All right, we're going to bend over, and we're going to just do some pot stirs. What is this? I got like some weird thing in my tights. Huh, how about that? So just using your arms, doing a controlled swing. Again, you're not flailing, you're doing these motions with control. Working on that rotator cuff, these stabilizing muscles for your scapula. And around. On the other side, in case you haven't been paying attention. Again, just warming things up. And we're going to do some scapular push-ups. So if you're one of my aerial friends, you've done this before, and maybe you haven't done this before if you're not one of my aerial friends. All right, so you can do these against a wall if you want. I'm going to do them against the ground, but it's going to be the same motion. And hopefully I can sorry, I'm not used to using my phone. I'm using my phone because we're going outside today. All right. So I'm in my plank position. I'm pushing up through the center of my back. And all that we're going to be doing is we're just going to sink down and then push back up. Now notice that my arms are not bending at all. Okay? I'm just sinking into my shoulder blades and pushing back up. So we are going to do 10 of these. 2. And we keep breathing. Remember to keep your shoulders, elbows, and wrists all in line. And do 5 more. Head neutral spine. So I wanted you to sort of feel yourself sinking into your scapula and pushing back out into it. This will be sort of helpful when we talk about different cues for proper hanging position, for proper pull-up position, where it talks about like retracting those scapula. So I want you to activate them with the push-up so that you get more comfortable to where that is and where that feels. All right, so warmed up really quick. Just a weird angle. Anyway, so we warmed up, and now what I want to do is I'm going to get some dumbbells. All right, so you can get dumbbells. If you have mini bands, you can, if you have a band, you can always just grab on one side and do the motion with the other. I'm going to use dumbbells, and I'm going to show you a couple of modifications with the band in case you have that. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab a dumbbell, and we're going to lay down on the ground. And we're going to work our lats. And so for this exercise, this is my favorite lat exercise ever. We're going to take the dumbbell, our feet are on the ground, our arms are pretty much straight, back is into the ground, and we're just going to raise overhead. So lifting at 90 degrees. If you have a band, let me show you how you set this up real quick. So if you have your handle band, you just put it around any vertical bar. But if you have this kind of band, you fold it in half, you put one end through, and then you pull that loop. So then, if you're lying down, it's going to be the same motion, all right? And you're just going to pull overhead, okay? So that's the motion, and we're going to do it with I'm going to do it with dumbbells, but you can do it with your large band if you have it. And we're going to do 2 sets of 12. Why did I put that there? Doesn't help. All right. Oh, the joys of using different cameras. Here we go. 1. So as you're doing this, making sure that your shoulders are not scrunching up near your ears. You want to try to tap the ground with the dumbbell each time you go through because you want to get the full range of motion. That's 6. It's 10. We're doing 2 more. Good job. All right. The next exercise that we're going to do is we're just going to work on our biceps. So as you're doing a pull-up, notice that at the end of the pull-up motion, your arms are here, you're working your biceps to do that. So I am going to grab some pins. Now, for proper form for this, I want you to remember to keep your elbows into the sides. At the very end of the movement, though, your elbows are going to come up in front. I really want you to squeeze at the top. And that's going to be helpful because when you finish that pull-up, you're going to be squeezing as hard as you can to get that last inch or so to get your chin above the bar. So we're going to do a set of 12. We're going to do two sets of 12. We're going to cycle through these. So here we go. 1. So those elbows stay into the side. 2. 3. 4. I'm actually going to go down and wait. That's 6 for me. Keep going. I've got some elbow pain, so I'm going to lighten my load a little bit. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, next motion is going to be our triceps. Triceps are very helpful as we're coming down and doing our negatives. So if you ever start with negatives, we'll talk about that in a future time. You can work on that. That's okay, Savvy. It's okay. All right, so we are going to bend over. Now you want to have your upper arms high. You want to keep them there. So we're just going to kick back and then come back. So your upper arm stays as motionless as possible. We're going to do a set of 12, so I got 10 more. some of the main muscles that are going to go on that are going to be utilized during pull-up. We're going to talk about those stabilizer muscles. And when I wrote this up, I probably should have gone in the other direction, but that's okay. If you're going to do this exercise, I would say no weights or very, very light weights. And what we're going to do is we're going to start in a scarecrow position. We're going to come down. I'm just going to 90 degrees. If you can go farther without any comfort, or without any pain, you can go farther, but really minimum just 90 degrees to come up, bring them together, and then raise up in front. So again, we're going to do 12 of those. All right? So start in scarecrow position. Here we go. Down, up, together, up. Down, up, together, up. And keeping your shoulders down and back. Down, up. It's 4. Up. 5. Down. 6. 7, 8, 9, should be feeling a burn in your shoulders. 10, 11, and last one. All right, so that is the set that we're going to do. We're going to do one more set of all of that. I'm going to grab a sip of water, and I'm going to give you a high five because good job. All right, so again, you can use dumbbells, you can use the band, whatever you want to use to get yourself there. It's all cool. We're going to just go right through those sets, so we're not going to take as long of a break because you should know how to do them by now, right? Sure. All right, round 2. I'm gonna get down on the ground. Center myself for the camera so you can see all of this beauty, whatever. All right, here we go, 3, 2, 1. 1. Make sure you touch the ground. Get your fingers out of the way so you don't pinch them. 3. 4. Again, if you don't have weights, you could get cans of food. You could just do body weight just to get used to the motion. Eventually you'll want to add weight, but since you're just grabbing one, you can grab a book, you can grab whatever you want. I want to say that's 8. That's the problem when I talk. I just can't count and talk at the same time. 11. I'm going to say that's 12. And let's hope that was actually 12. You're doing 12 regardless. I'm doing, probably could have done a few more, but all right, there we go. Now I'm going to do the ones that are painful for me. I've got some brachioradialis pain, overuse, so I'm taking it easy. But remember, you're going to curl up, bring your elbows forward at the very end, squeezing as hard as you can. I'm going to do 11 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure your posture is good. You're not sticking your butt out. You have neutral spine. 8, 9, 10, out. 11, and 12. All right, we're going to flip it over. And we're going to do tricep kickbacks. So remember, if you're using like a mini band to do this, you can still do this movement. Basically what would happen is you're going to be holding one hand close to the chest and then releasing back like that. So it'll take you a little longer to do this because you'll have to do each side separately. But you can totally do it with a mini band. You can always find ways to change it up. And if you ever have questions about how to use mini bands instead of dumbbells, I did a mini band workout yesterday. And I've done other mini band stuff like for Modality Mondays and stuff, so you can always check those out. All right, here we go, set 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, head neutral spine, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Excellent, excellent. Like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Excellent. All right, we're gonna work the shoulder stabilizing muscles, starting in scarecrow. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Down, together, down, together. That's 2. Down, together. If this is your first time doing this, you will probably just want to do this body weight. So if you don't have weights, that's totally fine. Cans of food work perfectly. I believe that's 6, 7, doing 12. So go at your own pace. This is my pace. 10. 11. I'm going to do one more just in case I miscounted. And there we go. Good job. Yay. All right. So we are done with our weights. It goes so quickly. So I'm just focusing on a few muscles today that are what I consider the most pertinent. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go outside, and I'm going to grab this band because we're basically just going to do one exercise with the band. Now, if you don't have a band, you can skip this. You can always do this motion just with your body weight, just to get the proper feel of it. And I actually go outside my door. Look at us, we're going on a field trip, folks. What? I know, it's crazy. So as you might be able to see, once I tilt it up, I have my pull-up bar right here. So I am going to take my band, and again, I'm just going to fold it in half. One hand, or one end goes through the other, and whichever one you pulled through, you just pull on it. And there you go, you've got it set up next to your, you've got it set up. All right, so now what we're going to do is, we're going to just practice doing the pull-up motion while we are on the bar. Now, one thing that, you see a lot is that, a lot of times we'll do lat pull downs like this with our arms sort of out to the side and in this wide plane, sort of like we're in a scarecrow position. But this time I want you to grab them, and I want your arms to be parallel, and I want your elbows to be in front of you, because this is what's going to more closely mimic the pull-up movement. When you're doing a pull-up, your arms shouldn't really be out here, they should be more like this. So I want you to grab your handle bands or whatever you want, and so I'm going to grab them by the sides. But basically I'm just going to bring my elbows right in front of me. And let's see if we can actually get a shot of that. Okay? So I'm in sort of a staggered stance. My back is tilted forward. I'm embracing my core. I am bracing my core, and I'm just going to pull in front of me. So we're going to do 2 sets of 12 here. Okay, neutral spine. And 12. I'm using a fairly light band for this. I could probably go a little heavier. If you have different bands, you might want to check and see. You want it to basically be a challenge for your last few reps. So if that was easy for you for the whole set, go a little heavier. All right. I am not going to go heavier because I don't want to keep everybody waiting. All right. But we're going to do another set. I'm going to pull a little higher up just to try to get more resistance. So again, you're just pulling with your shoulders down and your elbows parallel and in front of you. Doing a set of 12. That was 10 for me. Good job. Yay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to hang. Look at me moving this camera around and all that jazz. I am wearing gloves today. You don't have to wear gloves. Obviously, if you know, sometimes the bar just hurts a little more than others. And so today I wanted to have some hands, some gloves to sort of protect me. I'm going to take this band and I'm going to move it off for a second. So at this point we're going to be just hanging from the bar. If you don't have a bar, you can continue with, redo any of the exercises that we did previously, or you can just, listen in and we'll talk about it. So when you are in a pull-up position, you want your hands a little wider than shoulder width apart. The other reason why I'm wearing gloves is because this is unprotected and it just gets a little funky on my hands. I would like to have my hands a little closer together, but this is sort of where I have to be. But you want your arms slightly wider than shoulder width, okay? You don't want them really close. As you go into your hang, I'm going to just let my feet come off the ground. And there are a few things I want you to notice. First is that my shoulders are away from my ears. So you're not sinking in like this. That's the first thing you want to guard against. So I'm pulling up, keeping nice space between my ears and my shoulder blades, and my shoulders, okay? And also, I'm not pulling up into it. So what I want you to pay attention to is I'm going to start to initiate the pulling movement and like bring it into my arms more. You're probably going to see this little ridge form right here. And this is me engaging my arms too much. So I don't know if you can see the difference. So not engaging my arms, starting to pull up and engaging my arms. So there's that little ridge that develops right around here. So in a dead hang, you're not going to be utilizing your arms that much. You're going to be pulling your shoulder blades down, okay? So think about, before we were talking about sinking into your scapula this way, pushing up and pushing and sinking in. Now what I want you to think about is bringing your scapula downward, bring your shoulder blades downward, okay? So think about that motion as you are hanging. Head neutral spine, core engaged, and there you go. So for some people, especially if this is your first time on the pull-up bar, just holding on may be a challenge. And so working on grip strength is actually something I'm going to talk about next week, but working on grip strength is one of the crucial things to getting a pull-up. So it might be good for you just to work on how long can I keep a dead hang in that good position, and just start building your strength in that way, okay? What else did I want to say about that? Shoulders down. Also, I think that was all I really wanted to say. I'm probably going to forget something and come back. But let's just do like a count of 10 hang. And you can do these, just work on these as part of your, you can almost put it as part of your warm-up, just sort of getting shoulders activated and initiating good posture at the bottom of this movement. And hold it for 4 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Take a break. All right. How you feeling? You feeling good? You feeling like you got this hang down? Once you have good hanging position, you can do a lot of core work in this position. So you can do a hang and you can do, for example, knee raises. Now as you're doing these, you want to keep your torso as still as possible. There's a temptation to just be like swinging around and that, but good core stability means you are motionless as much as possible in your upper body as you're moving your knees up. I would do straight leg lifts, but I don't really have any clearance at the bottom for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop rocking, okay, and just slowly bring my knees up. So that's an exercise you can do, and that's going to work your core strength, and that's going to work your hanging strength. So let's do a set of 5. How about that? All right. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job, my friends. How's that going? All right, so if you can't hang long enough, you can just do that exercise hanging, okay? Or if you want to work on your core strength, you can lie down on the ground and just practice slowly bringing your knees up from straight leg and just tucking your legs in, or tucking your knees in, all right? We're going to do one more thing. So if you have a band, and I would suggest a heavy one if you're working towards your first pull-up. I'm just going to use this because I don't feel like I'm lazy. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to tie it on and just pull it through. So what we're going to attempt is we're going to attempt an assisted pull-up. Okay, so if you have a heavy enough band that can support you through this movement, let's go for it. And I'm going to talk about all of the different elements. And if you're not there yet, then just watch and keep in mind for when you start building up to your first assisted pull-up. Okay, I'm just going to put my knee in. If you want to put your foot in, go for it. It's going to put more tension on the band, but it's a little less stable and it can be uncomfortable. For me, I can't step into it because I'd be on the ground, so I was going to put my knee in. So we're going to start from that good hang. And as we're pulling up, I want you to think about keeping your elbows in. So sometimes they might flare out a little bit, but you really want to try to keep them sort of vertical to the ground. I remember how when we did that pull down motion with the band, we talked about having our elbows forward. That's what you want to keep in mind as you're doing this, okay? Also, you want to keep your core engaged because core engagement is going to actually make you feel lighter, okay, as you're doing this. And don't forget to breathe. Breathing is important, okay? So I'm going to be in my good hang. I'm going to start here. I'm going to elbows in, come up, and then slowly come down, elbows in, coming back, returning to that good position, okay? Now remember the other cues. Scapula down and back, shoulders away from your ears, elbows in, and then just slowly pulling up, keeping your core engaged. Let's try one more. Okay. Start from a good hang. Here we go. Pull, 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 pull. Elbows in, elbows in, elbows in. Down, 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 and down. How you feeling? Awesome job. So these are just some of the basic progressions to get into a full pull-up. You may not be ready for all of them, especially, you know, we sort of progressed as the workout, you know, went on. But feel free to refer back to this as a reference. You can use all of those strength exercises you can work on right now. And finding ways to increase your weight, especially with those overhead lat dumbbell raises. Get a heavier book, get multiple books, fill a bag with rocks, and I don't know. But you can always increase the weight, and the more you can increase your weight, you know, outside of, off of the bar, the stronger it's going to make you for the bar. And when you think about it, you got to pull up your whole weight, so you have to start lifting heavier if you want to get a pull up. So this is the start. This is where it begins. So I hope this was beneficial for you, and I hope it gave you some ideas for starting points. Like I said, we sort of progressed on. Try this again in a few weeks, and I'll add on some more exercises and maybe some, you know, more reps of, you know, assisted pull-ups. We'll talk about negatives and things like that, and just giving you more building blocks so that you can slowly build towards your first pull-up. And if you already can do pull-ups, I hope this was some good, just regular strength conditioning to keep yourself in tip-top shape so you can get even further with your pull-up goals. So thank you very much. Have a great day. High five. Dunk. Let me hit you in the head. And take care, and I will see you soon. Love you. Bye.